Welcome back to the Reaction Zone, where I am your host, Russell, and where we always discuss news, but with a message attached to it. So today we are going to talk about something that has nearly split this country in half. Today we're going to talk about transgender women, specifically transgender women, having access to biological women, safe spaces. So we're talking about bathrooms, changing rooms, locker rooms, even women's sports. Today's commentary came from Piers Morgan and his guest, Nancy Mace, who is a representative out of South Carolina, I want to say. And she has really hit the news cycle this week because she is trying to fight this battle head on. So let's play the video and we will unpack it when done. And go.
Welcome to you, Nancy Mace. You're one of the most famous people in America this week. I've got to say, I'm behind you on this. I just feel like the most telling part of the election race to me was that the most effective ad of the whole campaign was the one that Donald Trump did directly about this whole issue, saying Kamala's for they, them, Trump is for you. And it was remarkably effective. I think a lot of people, particularly women, but a lot of people, including me, including you, we feel very strongly that this issue of trans athletes in women's sport, trans women in women's spaces and so on, has just got completely out of control and is unfair, unequal, or even indeed now potentially harmful. Tell me why you feel so exercised about this.
Well, I am deeply passionate about women's rights. I'm the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I'm also the very first woman, Republican woman, elected to Congress from my home state of South Carolina. And, this issue is hitting us right in our faces right now. And it's something that I will take a stand on. This is a hill I'm willing to die on to protect women and girls. And the other thing I've been saying too is that I'm a survivor of rape. I was raped at the age of 16. And about a year ago, I had a deeply traumatic experience, and I was diagnosed with PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, from abuse that I suffered at the hands of a man. And I've lost 30 pounds over the course of the last 12 months. This weekend, in fact, I moved for the fourth time in a year. And so I have suffered the consequences of abuse. And I know firsthand how women's private spaces should be just for women. Rape victims like myself, or any woman for that matter, should not be forced to undress in front of men. And that's what the insanity of the left, that's what their policies are causing, not just on Capitol Hill, but all across the country, in schools, in locker rooms, dressing rooms, bathrooms. This is happening everywhere. And we have to put a line in the sand, big, fat, bold, red line, and say, hell no, no more. Like, I am going to fight like hell for this. I don't want chicks with dicks in my bathroom, in my dressing room. I don't want to be forced to change in front of a man, period. And it's a trigger for me. And I absolutely am going to go to the mat for women and girls everywhere and put a stop to it.
She said it all. She said it all. We need to put a big fat red line where it makes sense. And this is where it makes sense. That enough is enough. Enough is enough. I have a granddaughter, about to be 2 years old. So 10 to 15 years, she'll be 12, 17, but definitely in the realm of possibility if things kept going in the direction that they were going. For her to really have to deal with a biological male in her dressing room, in her bathroom, in her locker room, in her sports. And it's not just the fairness, but women need to feel safe. Women need to feel safe. Honestly, as a man, biological male, I would feel very uncomfortable in a locker room with women. And I'd feel very uncomfortable in a locker room full of men with a woman in there. It just, men should be with men and women should be with women when it comes to safe spaces. And I don't understand why this is even an argument. And then you take it even further to sports. So you mean to tell me that a child, my granddaughter, who spent the last, hypothetically, 10, 15 years pursuing her dream at whatever sport she might have happened to choose, and all of a sudden, now there is a biological male, transgender woman, who's decided that they no longer identify as a man. And so now, because of that decision, that they no longer identify as a man, they are able to infiltrate, dare I say it that way, but they're able to infiltrate a woman's bathroom, dressing room, locker room, and even sports. Where is the care for women? If the left is all about women's rights and get your hands off of my body, where in the world does it make sense, if you're about women's rights, to allow a biological male in a woman's safe space? I don't understand it. And this is why the Democrats lost. Not simply because of that, but because of the logic. It doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make any sense. And let's be clear, this is not to discriminate against anybody who identifies as whatever they want to identify as. You're a male, want to identify as a female, go for it. You're a female, want to identify as a male, go for it. I'll call you he or she, whatever you want to be called, I'll call you that. However, it stops when it puts my granddaughter in a certain place of discomfort in the locker rooms, in sports. It stops. And any father, responsible grandfather out there will take this position. Any responsible mother, grandmother, aunt, uncle will take this position. And you use your entire platform to advocate for a biological male to infiltrate the safe spaces of women and girls. I'm sorry, you've lost me, and you've lost a whole lot of other people about me. This is not about discrimination. Get married, marry whoever you want to. I celebrate that. If you're happy, I'm happy. But you don't get to infiltrate the safe space of my granddaughter or her friends. Let's be clear. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to hear more content like this, got a whole lot more of it where it came from. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. Talk to you soon.